taking action, getting results. This is WHNT News 19, After the Storm.
Tonight, on the eve of the one-month anniversary of the April 27th tornadoes, we're taking a very different approach to our After the Storm coverage. We sent WHNT News 19's David Wood on an assignment that required a greater commitment, documenting 24 hours in the life of a tornado survivor.
You know, none of us really knew what to expect, but what David found was a young couple and their 3-month-old daughter. With their home destroyed, the Lawrence County couple moved in with a relative. Here is an in-depth look at an emotional roller coaster ride with one family.
So I'm on my way to Lawrence County right now to try to find a family of storm victims willing to let me document and live their lives with them for 24 hours. And what's different about this assignment compared to the stories of survival we brought you on any given day since April 27th is this isn't the deadline-driven 30 minutes or an hour we may spend with victims out in the field. This is what happens after we leave. Where does their next meal coming from? Where are they sleeping? So this will hopefully give a glimpse into what life is really like out there for people who have lost everything. My search led me to Lawrence County Road 116 and 20-year-old Chelsea Fike, busy cleaning up storm debris from her father's front yard. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm David Wood with WHNT News 19 in Huntsville.
I'm Chelsea.
Hi, nice to meet you, Chelsea. We're actually working on a project that I was going to see if you might be able to help me out with. While the stumps and strewn limbs of this lawn may not look like a disaster zone,
You know, we're not scared of storms. We lived in a block house. We thought we would be safe anywhere, right at the foot of a mountain in Mount Hope, you know.
I soon learned there are many layers to every survivor's story.
And we actually stayed in the storm house for about 4 hours before we were able to make it home. And when we got there, there was the block wall standing there, and that was it. I mean, you try to stay strong as well as you can, but it's not as easy as people think. And I mean, you just have to build your way back up, you know. We started from square one before. I guess we can do it again.
Chelsea, her fiance Josh, and their then 2-month-old baby girl Alyssa had lived in this house only 2 months before a tornado tore it all away. A fridge and a gas grill were left behind, so they plucked out meat from their freezer and cooked everything at once. But when those rations depleted, with no home and no clothes, friends and strangers came through.
It was just bundles and bundles of stuff that churches have given, and just family friends and people, you know, you didn't even think you could count on. Everybody was pulling through to help each other.
The kindness of strangers and the benevolence of her father. Since the storms, the young family have been staying here at Chelsea's dad's.
If you stand in there, you can actually see the walls. They're actually bowed out from where the roof is.
A place to sleep, take showers, and prepare meals, but the structural integrity of Anthony Fike's home was compromised by the tornado as well.
What we had guessed is that it had actually picked it up and pressurized it and set it back down.
The outside walls 4 inches off the foundation. The Fikes were told to expect an engineer any day to inspect and possibly condemn the home as unlivable.
The insurance adjuster came out and she looked at it and said that she had never seen anything like it before.
If that happens, the entire family will have no place left to go. Homeless again. Chelsea is on the waiting list to receive a trailer like the ones Epic Church of Decatur have already blessed many of her Lawrence County neighbors with. This young mother is waiting and praying.
My dad, you know, said we could go with him wherever he goes, but after being out on your own, you know, you want to stay on your own because you want to have that comfort of being able to support your family, you know, and not have to depend on anyone else. And I mean, it would be great. Like you said, it wouldn't be lavish living, but it would be a roof over our head, and that's something that we might not have in the next couple of days.
Suddenly at 3:45, a third highest strength twister appears from nowhere.
Did you watch the thing on Discovery last night?
After an emotional first meeting, Chelsea introduced me to a snoozing baby Alyssa and showed me some video she captured as the tornado crossed Highway 24.
This right here is like the debris field, I assume.
Driving alongside the same tornado that, unbeknownst to Chelsea, had already destroyed her family's home.
Pretty much just dodged it.
Just then, Alyssa began to stir, ready for her afternoon bottle.
What you doing, bub?
After the trendy toenailed tot was fed and fawned over, we loaded up and headed to Mount Hope.
It's just crazy how massive this thing was.
Along the way, Chelsea narrates the tale of the road she traveled every day on the way to school, pointing out the missing homes and chicken houses and every spot where a friend or neighbor perished.
And they both were killed in that.
Then we arrived at Chelsea's. Or what's left of it.
Not much of anything. This was our bedroom that was in this little drop-off.
Of all their possessions, only a dining chair or two, a few clothes, a fridge, and a grill were salvageable.
It's hard just knowing that, you know, that's where we lived, but it's also an ease knowing that we weren't in it.
Chelsea chats with neighbor Mr. Robertson. His house just yards away was spared, but all around him, fellow survivors with nothing left are continually denied federal aid.
They actually said that since we weren't landowners, that they couldn't provide us with one of the FEMA trailers because that would be giving us permanent housing.
This pile of cinder blocks used to be Chelsea, Josh, and Alyssa's home. And when you look at this, there is nothing recognizable, nothing that suggests home or family or a place of comfort. This is the textbook definition of losing everything. On the way back to County Road 116, we passed makeshift shelters born from 74's deadly tornado outbreak. The Mount Hope welcome sign Chelsea helped build with her Future Farmers of America Club senior year. And Joel Dutton's demolished Quick Stop, a place her parents used to hang out as teenagers.
Say hi, Dad. Or what's up, Dad?
Are you going green?
Back at home, Dad Josh has returned from a day of masonry work to dote on his daughter. As we become acquainted, Josh explains his mother made front-page news for surviving a storm-tossed 2x4 lodged in her back, and that his parents' Langtown home was also destroyed. With Alyssa back in dreamland and Chelsea off to coach her kid sister's softball team, we had a chance to talk about the past few weeks and the uncertainty of now.
No, we ain't got nothing left. Just a few clothes that we could save, and then a few of her stuff, but nothing major. And I don't know. And all I know to do is just work and try to buy it back.
And if his future father-in-law's house is condemned...
Really, we don't know. It's just a sort of a guessing game on that. I mean, we ain't really got nowhere else to go, which, I mean, I'm glad, you know, her daddy's letting us stay here and giving us a place to stay. But, I mean, there ain't nothing like having a place he owns. I mean, it's going to pretty much put him in the same boat we are.
At 7:30, Anthony Fike is home from his paving job and immediately finishes the work his daughter began earlier in the day.
Just kind of get your mind off of it, just have something to do, you know. You know, you'll wake up in the middle of the night some nights, especially if the wind blows or it thunders, you'll be out of bed just like that. You know.
The uncertainty seeping from his ruddy, sun-roasted skin is masked by his nonchalant nature.
It's rough, but, I mean, there ain't nothing you can do but just go on. You just gotta make the best out of it and go.
But Anthony knows an engineer's inspection may mean the worst.
Well, they may say, hey, it's too old to fix. You know, it's gonna cost more to fix than the house is worth. That's, in my guess, that's probably what they'll do.
Anthony has told Chelsea and Josh they can go wherever he does, but with his own living situation on the line, he's hoping Epic Church calls sooner than later with an option.
They really went back on their own. They hadn't been on their own very long when all this happened, see. She was still living with her mama then. And they just got started, you know. That's what makes it so bad. And it's all gone.
As we waited on the grill to heat up, the boys, and of course Alyssa, watched Discovery Channel's tornado special.
Just wiped out 2 small towns in Alabama.
Watching with people still living this reality, the emotion in the room was palpable.
Third highest strength twister appears from nowhere.
Josh seasoned chicken, chops, and ribs while Mom gave Alyssa her bath. And while my empty stomach rumbled, my head was full of thoughts of all I had heard and learned throughout the day. The loss, the beginning again, and the not knowing. As darkness fell over a still scarred Lawrence County, we all sat down to a family dinner of meat, potatoes, and macaroni, followed by a friendly card game among this unit who's truly become three of a kind. Just before bed, I stepped outside for a moment alone to reflect on the day. I have to say the thing that struck me the most is, they may have a stable place to stay, a place to wash their clothes and take a shower and prepare meals, but if an engineer comes in here tomorrow and declares this house an unfit place to stay, then it really puts the entire family back at square one of finding a place to have a roof over their head. So I'm really hoping that they hear from Epic Church tomorrow that they're going to have a trailer available for them, and even though it's just a temporary thing, that's going to mean so much to this young family. So it's about time to hit the sack or hit the couch for me, and we'll just have to hope and see what tomorrow brings. At this point, I had spent roughly 12 hours with Chelsea, Josh, Alyssa, and Anthony. As the sun rose the next morning, an unexpected phone call holds the potential to change everything for this young family. But will they be forced out again, or will anyone, come to the rescue? And Jerry and Ali, you'll learn the conclusion tonight as we conclude 24 hours in the life of a tornado survivor tonight on WHNT News 19 at 10. And
I'm just amazed. You did not know this family ahead of time, yet they opened their crowded quarters to help you so you could tell their story.
Absolutely. They were all so open to this. And what really struck me the most, I feel like everyone wants to have their story told, but with even this specific and individualized situation, when you look beyond the surface, theirs is really the story of so many Alabamians and more recently, people all over the heartland of our nation.
Thanks for sharing that, David. And of course, more tonight at 10.
Absolutely.
All right.
This week, we sent WHNT News 19's David Wood on an assignment that required a greater commitment than the day-to-day news gathering task, documenting 24 hours in the life of a tornado survivor.
At 6:30, we brought you the first installment of a young Lawrence County couple story, and they had lost everything, moved in with family, and now their temporary residence is in jeopardy too.
Now the final surprising moments of 24 hours in the life of a tornado survivor.
We started from square one before, I guess we can do it again.
We ain't really got nowhere else to go.
We're gonna have to go to the house somewhere.
But it ain't nothing like having a place to
A roof over our head, and that's something that we might not have in the next couple of days.
After a restless night on the Fike family couch, when the sun rose, uncertainty still hung in the air like the morning haze. Chelsea, Josh, Anthony, and Alyssa were wrapped in suspense, expecting an engineer to come before noon to inspect the home that had become a young family's refuge from a tornado's aftermath. Visible cracks on nearly all the walls of Anthony Fike's home, separated ceiling joists, a home shifted off its foundation. Through all the worry, Chelsea was good enough to prepare breakfast. The oven was out, but Josh, like always, found a way to improvise. During some post-meal television, an unexpected yet welcome call. One that would change everything.
Hello.
Epic Church is on the phone.
Yes, ma'am.
And Chelsea's trailer is on the way.
County Road 116.
The news has Chelsea and Josh practically speechless.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to describe because everything, we've heard bad news from FEMA, we've heard bad news from the SBA, and everyone's turned us down, and now we're actually getting help. I think I might cry.
So Chelsea and Josh just got the call from Epic Church that they're going to be delivered a trailer with the title Free and Clear in Chelsea's name. This is very exciting. They're pretty much beside themselves right now. So I wanted to give them some time to kind of process this alone, and I'm on my way up to the Epic Church Distribution Center to grab some video of their trailer being stocked with everything they'll need. And this is their new home.
before every trailer goes out, we'll actually make sure that the trailer is 100% cleaned out for them and just a nice place for them to move into. Then we will come in just before the trailer goes out and we'll stock this thing with the refrigerator full of food, the pantry full of food.
Epic, even going as far as to include a family's favorite snacks and a week's worth of clothing in their sizes. With the title secured, pantry stocked, linen spread, and the Epic Church sticker in place, it was time to make it all happen.
I'm Chelsea, nice to meet you.
The Epic crew got everything in place, and it was time to check it out.
It's huge.
32 feet may not seem like much to many, but for this family,
it's huge.
I think it's safe to say Alyssa approves too. Chelsea and Josh, overwhelmed with thanks.
It's just a great feeling knowing that there's people out there that actually care enough to help. Because, I mean, the churches and everything's the only people that's actually helped because all the federal assistances have turned us down. It feels great. Thank you so much. If you need anything, please call us. I will. Thanks.
As Epic bids farewell to their latest beneficiaries, it was time for me to hit the road too, leaving this family much more certain than when I found them, but knowing all along their lives and their road to recovery has just begun. Chelsea, Josh, and Alyssa's trailer was the 29th Epic Church of Decatur was able to purchase with donation money to help families with no other options. And guys, this has just been an incredible ending to the journey with this family. They're so loving their new home and that regained sense of independence.
And they're also so thankful, you know, you could tell. Any word on Chelsea's dad?
Well, actually, the engineer came out today and did an inspection, but he said he couldn't make any type of determination based on what he saw today, that he was going to go back and look over his notes and relay a message to the insurance adjuster. So hopefully we hear good news about Anthony Fink as well.
All right. Great story. Thanks for bringing it to us, David.